Guys, welcome back, and I'm glad to have you guys back. I hope you guys are doing great, and in this awesome adventure, we are doing pretty much my first type of video on making a insulated canteen pouch. And that insulated canteen pouch is going to be for my Canadian Forces insulated thermos canteen. One of my prized possessions, one of my favorite canteens right here. But anyways, one of my subscribers wanted to see me on how I made my mess kit pouch, or my mess kit. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. What's new? One of my subscribers wanted to see how I created these little projects that I've been making lately. One was on my mess kit pouch, which was this pouch right here that I made, and I did a video on that talking about it and telling you guys how I made it and stuff. And I think it was MCICL. I think that's the subscriber that asked to see a video. So basically, I'm just going to go ahead and bring you guys along with me, and we're going to make a pouch for this right here. An insulated pouch of that, and this will be my first insulated pouch. So, with that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'm glad to have you with me. So, let's get down here to the drawing table and let's check this out. Basically, I vision on what I'm going to do. And with this one here, I've been thinking about this for a few weeks now, and basically what I do, maybe this might help you guys, is I just go ahead and, I put an insulated canteen pouch, and I have in my head how I'm going to create this with the sewing machine, which that is what we're going to use. And so basically I just draw it out, got two sheets there, combine, fold, and then basically just so forth. I just draw it out. And that right there gives me an idea how I want to do it. So when I come to doing this, which we're going to do now, I can look at this and kind of go back and forth and see if it's going to work or not. For me, I vision it in my head, and I'm going over the seams and the threads and how I fold it, if it'll work that way or this way, and then I write it out. Okay, for this project, we're making the pouch for the canteen, and the fabric we're using is a ripstop cotton woodland camo. I have 6 yards of this, so we have plenty. And I just bought this on eBay, a fairly good price, and it's the ripstop material. So then for our insulation, Angel actually gave this to me. It's a Wrap and Zap 100% natural cotton batting, and that's what we're going to be insulating the pouch with. And of course, the compliments of Angel Survival, the Singer heavy duty sewing machine. And oh yeah, in my hands too. So my first step is going to use this little cutter here, and I'm going to be cutting a square around this, actually more of a rectangle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave enough space on both sides of this, and I'm going to actually leave extra space on the top, a lot longer. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut basically a rectangle around this and leave a space on the bottom. That will give me room to be able to sew fabric on top of this fabric and be able to fold and stuff. Because when you do that, you're going to lose space. So you want to always give yourself a little extra. And then you just want to take something straight. I just have a shim here. It's pretty much got a nice straight edge. And basically, I'm not gonna really measure right now at this point. I'm just gonna eyeball it. And that works for me. There comes times when you want to measure, but I'm just gonna eyeball this for the most part. And remember to keep your top part longer. And we'll do the same for the bottom. Okay. So we got one cut, and we're going to go ahead and cut one more. And I'll just use the opposite side of the fabric, and that'll give us the same shape, same size and all. And if you want, you can use a straight razor too to give it a nice straight edge. I should have did it on that one, but I didn't. That's okay. Okay, so our next step is we're going to go ahead and put the two camel sides together. Get all your edges together as best you can. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew just a straight stitch all the way down, just one time for now. We're going to do that on this side, and then we're going to turn it around, and we will do it the same on this side. And that's basically just to hold it together for this time being. Okay, so it's going to look like that. You're going to have both those edges sewed. Now, this probably isn't going to be the edge of the Canteen pouch itself. All I'm doing is just keeping it together for now. So it just makes it easier. Otherwise, I have to use little pins to hold everything in. And that's hard to do. So that's why I sewed it. We're going to turn this inside out. So we're just basically going to put our hand in there, and we're just going to pull it through to the camo side, just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Canteen, just going to place it on there, and then we're going to just fold this over it, and it should be folded over like that. Now what we're doing here is, you see now I just created a pockets right here, one there, and then I got one on this side right here, and that's what the insulation is going to go in. But you see, this is why I made it bigger, so I can work with it. It's better to have too much fabric than not enough, and it'd be too tight around the Canteen cover. You're not able to stuff with insulation. Then what we're going to do is we're going to sew along here. We're going to basically be combining these two fabrics together like that. I'm going to give myself a gap here from the edge to edge. I'm going to draw a line here, that way I can see what I'm sewing on, because I don't even know if this is going to be my final stitch, but it might be. So I figure, well, if I'm going to do that, then I might as well draw a line. And it doesn't matter, I'm using a marker, you won't see this side. This is going to be the inside of the pouch, but we haven't gotten to that step yet. So just draw me a nice straight line there, and then I'll do the same on this side as well. I don't know if this is going to be enough. I might still need to go in a little bit more, but This is my first time doing this, and there's a lot that comes in play than just sewing up some fabric, because we're adding insulation to it. So there is my line. So let's go ahead and get that sewed real quick. Okay, so it should look something like this. Have your edges on there. And now we're going to do it again. We're going to turn this thing inside out. Like I said, this was all visual in my mind, so far it's working. And like I said, you won't see it. You won't see it on marker because it's inside out right now. It's got to get turned inside out. There we go. Oh, it kind of looks like my mess kit pouch. A little different, but we'll have to trim that up. So there you go. There is the pouch itself, and you see we have the seams on the edges there, and no seam on the bottom because that was just from the fabric being folded. So now this is the outside of the pouch, and so now if you look here, we can experiment a little bit, but we have our pockets right there. Here's the inside for the canteen, and then here's your pockets. So that's what the insulation is going to go in. So basically those first few steps was creating, designing the shape, and allowing it to be able to hold the insulation. So let's move down back to the table again. Let's see how the canteen fits in here right now. Let's check it out real quick. This is going to give us an idea if we need to keep sewing more, which I don't know if we are or not. That's not too bad, really. That is really not too bad. I still have room to play in there, so we might need to sew some more. Because I kind of want this tight. I don't want it to be loose at all. It's not what I want. So I think we might go ahead. Let's go ahead and put some insulation here and let's experiment. Alright, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and shape this a little bit more before we do the insulation. And basically I want to cut triangles right here. So you just turn this thing back inside out. Make sure you turn it inside out before you do this. And again, I just kind of eyeball. So, you know, right now I want to get the canteen up there. And I want to not go past here. So I got to make sure it's, you know, however you want to put your angles on it, really is just basically how I do it. We can just do a little at a time, I guess, and basically go from there. So we'll just use our straight edge. We'll just draw a line again here. And let's try that. One. And kind of eyeball again. Do the best you can, you know, it's not going to be perfect. Should look something like this, just making a line there. Just make sure both sides, make sure both these lines are the same. And I'm gonna do more stitching on this, on these same stitches, as long as these are the ones I keep. So right now I'm just doing one pattern, or whatever you want to call it, stitch across. I'm not doing, because usually when I'm really wanting to reinforce it, I'll go back and forth, and I'll do the ends back and forth. And I'll show you that towards the end of the video as we complete this project, but I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We got to take our time, so. As long as you don't forget to go back over your stitches. Otherwise you might have a canteen laying on the ground. And now what I'm going to do, is I already did on this, is I cut the edge of that one part off. And you're going to do the same here. You're going to cut the edge of that off. Because when you fold this thing inside out, that little piece right there is still going to be on inside of the canteen pouch. You don't really need it. So we will go ahead and cut that off. I hope this video turns out good, because this is new to me. Trying to do this and film at the same time is not easy. But one of you guys wanted to really see this in action, so I'm doing my best. And it's kind of nice because I've gotten some time some time now of some sewing, got some practice in, so I feel a little more confident at my abilities. And I still try to cut this off real nice. You're not going to see it. It doesn't really matter, but, you know, just try to do a good job. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and try to put some insulation in this now. So I think I'm just going to take the insulation here and I'm going to fold it a few times. And, because I don't know, this is fairly thin stuff. And I kind of want it a little extra cushiony. So we'll fold it once that way. And then we'll fold it again. At least for now. Basically, I'll just take the Canteen pouch here and I'll just put it on here. Actually, I want to put it on this side here. This thing is really nice to have for cutting, but make sure you don't cut your Canteen pouch. You know, this is just experimenting here. I've never, don't know how well this is going to work. It's definitely interesting. Just want to get an idea of how this is going to fit in here. Okay, flip it over and we'll do the other side. Fit that in the pocket. Kind of jumbles up in there a little bit, but that's what it should look like. You can see it in there. It's in both those layers. So let's try the Canteen in this thing now and see how it fits. It fits in there good. So yeah, that kind of did tighten up on the side a little bit. Not too much though. I think I'm going to go ahead and sew a little bit more on the sides. And probably going to cut that corner down a little bit more too. But that's good. It's good to know. Now I kind of have an idea. I just turned it inside out again. And I just measured 1 inch from the side. And made a mark on both sides to go ahead and bring it just a little tighter around the Canteen. Okay, again, I'm not going to do the corners yet because I want to see how the Canteen fits in here. And so turn this thing inside out again before you cut the edges, because if I cut the edges, then I can't go back and fix it. So I could have gone in too far. I don't know yet. So whatever you do, don't cut your edges really until you know for sure that's where you want it. So pull that inside out and let's try the Canteen again and see how it looks. Yeah, no, we didn't go in too far. That's perfect. Really, I could even go in farther, to be honest with you. But I don't think I want to do that. I think that's probably about right. Because once we start getting the insulation there, it's going to tighten up. Okay, so I got the insulation on both sides, and that Canteen, look how much tighter fit it is. I mean, that just turned out perfect almost. It's got a nice tight fit to it. We have to cut this down, and we have to basically fold these ends over so I can make a loop to be able to put the elastic cord in. So I'll get back with you here in a second. In your time, but my time it might be an hour. I decided we're going to take straight edge here, and we're gonna cut this much off on the fabric using the straight edge. Use that as like a distance. And I'm gonna cut the insulation as well with it. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, we're good. I got the insulation back in here, and this is the scary part now. I call it scary. But I got the edge folded over for the elastic cord to go through, so we're gonna do that right now. I might take a break for the day, I don't know. Sometimes I start overthinking things, I screw things up. So we'll get this on, see how it works, and we'll go from there. Alright, so just a little rough shot of the elastic cord pieces. We got those done. Just one stitch across. That's it for now. So try it out and see how it works. So now let's go ahead and let's get our stitches all reinforced. And we're going to turn it inside out and reinforce our stitches in there as well. Okay, our next step is we're going to go ahead and put the belt loops on it. And for my belt loops, I'd rather use 3-inch nylon webbing. I don't have. So we just cut up 3 strips of some nylon webbing to almost basically make the resemblance of a 3-inch nylon webbing strap. So now I've never done this before with insulation, so I don't know how the sewing's going to go, but we'll find out. But I got a pin holding that onto this, and I'd recommend if you do one of these, to put the belt on before you have everything sewed up. I'm kind of doing it kind of backwards, but I think I can get it fitted onto the sewing machine because I have the sewing machine lid, the cover comes off, and I can slide this over, and I should be able to get the needle on it. So we'll find out. And then I'll go ahead and get these other 2 sewed on, but you see how to do it. So we'll get this one and this one sewed on next. But yeah, I didn't know how this was going to do with this being insulated and the needle going through that. So it did really good. The next part, and this is the coolest part, I decided I want to put some straps that crisscross around this. Do you guys remember the old World War II canteen pouches where they would come across in the front and crisscross like the USMC pouches for the canteens? Well, that's what I want to do, where it wraps around the side here on both sides, and then we'll make some buttons on both sides here for the button onto. So let's move on to that. So basically what I'm doing is I'm wrapping around this flexible tape measure here, because this is how the strap's going to go here, and the same on the other side. It's going to basically form an X. So I think I want to stop at 9 inches, but when I cut the straps to make them, I want to make them a little bit longer so I have something to play with. So I have more room to play with in case I'm making mistakes. And then I think we'll go 3 inches wide on it. And we'll make 2 of those. And I got a little triangle here, and I got a little template. I want to give this thing a little bit of a different shape than just a squared off edge. So I will make one mark there. And one mark there. And that is where we'll sew. Because we're going to sew these together because these are getting stuffed with insulation. So that gives us a line to sew down. Okay, we'll go with that a couple more times and do the other one. Okay, once you get those both sewn up like that, you can either cut the ends or leave them. I think I might just leave it on this one. But now we're gonna need to turn it inside out. So there's not much of a gap or a hole in here, and so this I don't know how easy this is gonna be to turn inside out, but this is gonna be the hard part. So okay, we got it turned inside out, and now we're gonna stuff this with polyester filling. I think this will be easier to stuff because it's so small. And I just got a pillow here that I cut out. Okay, I decided to wait to put the insulation in this, or the polyester filling from the pillow. And I went ahead and I've never made buttonholes before. So I was where's that? So you see here, I was practicing buttonholes. I'm not using a guide or nothing. So I went ahead and off camera, I did my first buttonhole on here, and it turned out pretty good. Basically, I used a zigzag stitch and squared it off. I marked my button and squared it off that way. So I'll film this next one. And yeah, I just need to really focus on this because this is not that easy. And it's hard to see. These sewing machines, they need to have better lighting or something. You basically just turn it. This didn't turn out too bad. Start off a little too high. I'll bring it up here a little closer, but I started off a little too far away right there. But I was able to make the buttonhole though. Awesome. And so basically I put the button up here and I drew a line here and a line here and then a line down the center and on both sides. And that mimics a buttonhole. I'm going to take a razor blade. This is the hard part. You get really careful not to go too far. Just take your time. And I turn that around like that so I don't go on one of my threads on accident. Okay. Let's try this out. And we're just going to see if it pushes through. And it does. And it's kind of tight, and that's how I want it. Look at that. Okay, I've got it insulated. I went ahead and used the polyester insulation from the pillow. And that was a little difficult kind of getting that evened out there. And I just did it off camera, but what I did is I just folded the one end over. So you can see it right there. And then I already did one side of this, but basically I'm just sewing it onto the back right here. I'm just taking this pin and I'm making a mark right here to give me the angle I want. So when I wrap this around, it goes exactly how I want to do it, like that. Okay, the back side is on. Doesn't look too bad. My stitching's gotten better, but this project's been very, very challenging. We're going to put pins I think right where I'm going to put the buttons at. And that'll give us a spot, so I can take those out. I'm moving it. Okay. In those two spots we're gonna sew our buttons. And so since we're hand sewing, I just want to show you real fast, but I like to double my thread. So basically I just run it through and then I tie a knot. See right there? I can barely see it, but anyways, I double my thread up and it just makes it a lot stronger. So okay, before we pull all the way through, there we go. Okay. Okay, pull that up now. I want to run that through the button here. So I doubled it. We run it through the other thread. And then you just pull it tight. It won't go nowhere. That's just the excess right there. And then you just basically, you start doing is just weaving in and out of those holes. And when I get to the end of it, I'll show you how to tie it off. Then you're gonna come on the inside. And basically, what Angel Survival showed me, you just start running your needle behind your thread. And then you can tie it off that way. And so I'll run it through this loop here. And that ties it. And I'll do that a few times to really strengthen it up. And that will really strengthen your... Sorry, I'm trying to keep you on camera. This has not been easy. Trying to film this and do this. I hope this video turns out good for you guys. If anything, hopefully help you guys build one of these. But so yeah, you just basically keep doing that. Just keep tying that off and then you're done. But bam! Almost done, but not quite yet. So we got the buttons done. I clean that up a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and tie these off and cut these to length next. And then we're going to get some Flex Seal. I think I'm going to put a little coat of Flex Seal on the bottom of this to strengthen it up. So I'll probably just come up to here, not a whole lot, just enough to give it a nice Flex Sealed bottom. And really, alright, we're just going to take a Walmart bag and basically, actually can just tuck that in there, fold the handles in. This is what I did with my last one that I did. I just taped this around it.
I'll do a little test spray first. Okay, here we go.
Okay, we'll flip that over and do the other side. We'll let that top side dry for a little bit, and then we'll put 2 coats on. But the first coat we'll let dry for 24 hours, so a total of 48 hours of drying. I put 2 coats on it. It's 2 days later from the first coat. And let's go ahead and get this opened up here. Do this nice and carefully. Well, guys, I hope you enjoy this video on, I guess you call it step-by-step tutorial with Sky Survival on making a Canadian Forces canteen pouch, insulated. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I have no idea how this video is going to turn out because I've never done a video like this step-by-step tutorial. So it's definitely been challenging trying to film and concentrate on this, but I love you guys. So I hear you in the comment section, so that is why I made this specifically. And yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below anything I could have done different. Maybe some tips and stuff, because I'm always up for tips. Not constructive criticism, but tips. Anyways, guys, so there it is. Canadian Forces Insulated Canteen Pouch. Made by your favorite host, Sky Survival. So, guys, make sure you leave your comments below. And I will see you guys in the next adventure. And appreciate you sticking along with me, guys. All right, see you guys later. God bless, take care, and bye.